Feels so good. It feels so good. For anyone, it feels there. Maybe the yoga's too slow, or that, I don't know, it's not right for them, or what have you. I can't tell you how much I recommend just a little simple stretching in the morning. Feeling the tightness in your muscles. Just feels so dang good. Something I used to do regularly. Used to take a lot of yoga classes. Used to have a fairly regular stretching routine every morning. Kind of got away from it for a while. Kind of getting back into it now. Usually I'll bring out my yoga mat, lay it on the floor while my coffee's brewing, and do some real focused stretching. And I think I expected probably too much. Good morning, peep. Maybe out of yoga. I expected some hypnotic, meditative, crazy, out-of-body experience. Hello, Vanessa. And if you can just, I mean, it's so easy, you know, every move you make, I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm 54, every move I make feels kind of hurts, but it kind of hurts so good. And I know you're supposed to focus on deep breathing, but honestly, just letting out little groans feels so dang good. And again, I was doing it this morning, just getting going before I push live on this. Thought I'd do a couple last, not attractive, I'm sure, but very good feeling, good focus. It keeps your mind in the moment, because your mind is focused on your hamstring, you know, maybe tightening up, or your calves, or your, you know, your, whatever these are called, lats or what have you. And it just feels so dang good. Hello, Smiley. Hello, Banjo. Hello, Carol Lee. Hello, User. Hello, somebody with sunglasses. Hello, Ronnie. Hello, Road. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It's a little show I've been doing in one form or another for about 4 years. It's a show lately I've been doing every morning as I get my day started. It's a show that I enjoy a lot, usually puts a smile on my face, and hopefully provides some value to you, the viewer, or the viewers that have watched over the last few years, and on whatever platform it was on. And it's a show that makes me smile, and again, I hope spreads smiles and joy and happiness a little bit around the world. I think the world could use some more encouragement, a little more positivity, a little more kindness, a little more love, and a little more good feeling. But for those that have been watching a while, thank you for joining, Tracy. You know, it's not just a show about me spreading smiles and joy and warm, fuzzy feelings. For those that have been watching a while, you know, it is also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I have a full pot. What's so cool about this pot? It was a gift from my ex-wife. It's pretty darn good. It's very insulated. It's very sealed. I mean, some drips came out the top, but I think that was water from me cleaning it. Good morning, Billy Jenks. And it keeps the coffee hot for a long, long time. And what's neat is a very full pot of Mr. Coffee fits exactly into this, which is a good feeling. And I've got it filled to the rim, and I am so excited to pour it into my favorite coffee mug. I don't know if it's truly my favorite coffee mug, but I'm pretty proud of them. They say Coffee with Ken. I think they're pretty cool. Honestly, my favorite coffee mug is probably one with, one that broke in a move a couple of years back. It was one that I had pictures of my two baby girls that aren't babies anymore. Me and my girls on it, and a friend, or actually maybe my first wife, made it for me. it's really neat. If you're looking to get a gift for somebody, get a really cool picture of them, maybe with their kids, or I don't know, with their horse or their dog or whatever picture they're into. And you put it on a coffee mug, and it really becomes a special part of their morning, and it would always remind me of my beautiful daughters and make me feel good as I drank it. Somebody said my favorite cup is any cup with coffee in it. I mean, that's not totally untrue. That's not totally untrue. So anyway, with that in mind, I got a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me, and I'm so excited to take my first sip. I hope wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. It was so hot the first sip, I didn't really savor the flavors, if you will, but then kind of a little swished around, and I got that beautiful taste that I love so much. And it's the taste of the cinnamon dolce, for anybody wondering. My favorite coffee right now, it's so funny. I work at a super Target. I work in the cereal aisle. I stock shelves and spread cheer and joy to the customers that come through. The aisle next door is the coffee aisle, and I sell, I sell what I believe in, and what I believe in right now is the cinnamon dolce coffee by Starbucks. It's fantastic, and I'm blown away again, and I over talk about it maybe, but I don't know if you can over talk about it. Let me take another sip. Now, you can't over talk about it. Cinnamon goes really well with coffee, and I'm surprised how good it is. And any chance I get, I spread the word, and I'll be stocking a shelf on the ground, crawling around, trying to reach back to get the stuff in the back of the shelf, and I'll say, somebody will walk through, and I'll laugh because I'm in a very prone position, and we'll start chatting, and one thing will lead to another. We'll start talking about coffee or cinnamon or the day, and all of a sudden I'll go, hey, if you like coffee, try that cinnamon dolce. And they oftentimes will buy a bag, and it makes me feel good. I hope they enjoy it half as much as I do. Somebody's saying whiskey goes well in coffee. It'd be a hard start to the day. I mean, I know got a plane going overhead. Planes are kind of neat. Still not totally sure how they fly. And my college roommate, for I think 2 or 3 years of college, was a good buddy. I mean, still a good friend, and was an aeronautics engineer. And one thing cool about, there's a million things cool about him. He's a great human. He's a great dad. He's a great husband. He's a great aero engineer. I went to University of Illinois, which is a fairly challenging school. I studied finance, which is a degree that, it's not easy, but it's not aeronautics engineer. And we lived in a fraternity, and we would go out and do obscene, obnoxious, overindulgent drinking things all the time. And I'll tell you what, for a guy that took a hard major like aeronautical engineer, he managed to keep up with those that did not fairly well. So he must be a really smart guy. I know he's a really smart guy. Have I ever tried roasting my own coffee? No, I have not. Good morning, Katie. I was hoping you'd hop on. Thank you so much for following the host, Mr. Rathburn. I have been on this platform, which if you're watching live right now, you know it is TikTok, since last November. And it's coming up on, I think, 18, 19 months. And I enjoy it. And it kind of grows every day. It seems like a good platform to go live because, I don't know, somehow, some way, somehow, they spread it out around a ton of different viewers and put whatever message you have to share in front of a big audience, bigger than other platforms I've found. And I usually start here, and then I clip this video. I'm going to rewatch it at some point later this week and clip it up and share it on different social media platforms that are growing as well. And I have a ton of fun with it, and it's almost a hobby. It's almost a profession. I mean, it's not a well-paid profession, don't get me wrong. I think I've made about $30 in the last 3 weeks off of it. but I just started making a little bit of money on it, and I'm not chasing money by any means, but I do have bills to pay. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm working at a Super Target right now, and I've been there for about 3.5 months after being a realtor for 17 years. When I started at Super Target, I was so excited and so loving the job and so invigorated and felt so good to be productive and have a place to go and have a place to share my energy and my passion and my joy every day. But as the weeks and months have passed, I still think it's a great job. It's an amazing company. My store is fantastically run well. I don't think the position is one for me, one that I should be in. Yeah, it's just not one I should be in. We're called, I think, some sort of like independent business owners at the company, and they want us to feel ownership in our area of the store, and I do. I take the cereal aisle I take it with pride, or I look at it with pride. I want it looking good. I don't want the shelves to have goo on them. I want the boxes to be pulled up front, and I want the shelves to be stocked. I want the customers to find what they're looking for, and I do take a lot of pride in it. But it's such a huge corporation and a huge store that if my direct boss isn't there, no matter how much love I put into that area, nobody really will notice. Nobody will notice. I mean, the customers will notice, and I'll notice, and some of the employees will notice. But it was never going to be a long-term job for me. Honestly, it's an entry-level job with fairly entry-level pay, and I can't afford to pay my bills on it really at all. And I was kind of hoping that somehow, some way, I'd be discovered there and suddenly be running the company or something silly like that. But I don't think it's the right stepping stone for massive corporate development. I think they run it well. So for me to say, hey, maybe we could do this, or this to improve it, or would, again, it's run well. They do great. It's one of the best targets in the area. And when I'm there, I almost feel I'm a bit of a distraction because I always want it to be better. I always want to, be running the place and managing the people and encouraging the employees and getting everybody to feel good about their jobs. And honestly, that's not what my position's about. The primary role of my position is keeping the stocks shelved, or the shelves stocked. And I look at that as, and I do that, but that's not my passion by any stretch. My passion lies in the people in the store and the customers and the employees and the bosses alike. And my role, and again, I forget what it's called, my role that I am assigned is not, that doesn't fall under the job description. So anyway, so I have been looking around, thinking about some other things I'd like to do. Thank you. Somebody said I have a nice yard. It's a beautiful spot in this world. It's a tiny little home. I'm coming at you from Naperville, Illinois, which I say all the time is a town about 145,000 people, about 35 miles west of Chicago, Illinois. A town I've lived in roughly since 2008. A town I was born near. I grew up in a town, a couple towns over, called Downers Grove, but always was spending time here in Naperville. It's a town that wins a lot of awards nationwide, and just for like best places to raise a family, or best places to send your school, or best parks, or best downtown. And it truly is all of that. And I live in a little special nook of this town called Naperville Heights. And it is a area that was probably built in the 50s when people had more modest needs and more modest wants, honestly. Let me drink a little more coffee. Good morning, RJ. And I live in a tiny little 2-bedroom, 1-bath ranch. And it's about 3 blocks by 4 blocks that way. and is filled with little tiny little ranch homes, two or three bedrooms, usually don't have a basement, usually one or maybe 1.5 baths, usually 1.5 car garages. And they're just kind of cute little tiny homes on small little yards. But again, they were built in the 50s, so that we got big trees, we got nice people, modest people. Naperville's a fairly affluent community, and this is the one pocket of, I don't know, suburbia. I mean, there's so many beautiful areas in Naperville, so to say this is my favorite wouldn't be true. But most of them are filled with $1 million+ homes. Beautiful homes and beautiful areas backing up to forests or rivers or what have you. But they're just so out of the budget of the everyman. And right now, let me tell you, as a guy that's working stocking shelves at Super Target, I aspire to be the everyman. And so I love it here, but it's a rental for me, and my rent is up at the end of the month, and I got to move. And I'm not even totally sure where. I don't want a ton of questions about it because I'm not stressed about it. Or I try not to be stressed about it. I'm letting life figure itself out, and life will figure itself out. I don't know. I struggled with anxiety most of my life, and always would worry and try and control things and try and fix things, and I try and control people, and I try and control places. I am the lowest man at Super Target, but I feel like I'm running it. And I feel like it's my store, and I take that much pride in it. Like, I don't know, if there's a mess in the bathroom, I don't like it, and I may not actually get my hands dirty on it, but I find somebody will take care of it. And yeah, and I don't know, trying to control life has been an endeavor not worth pursuing. And I think, no, it's not the Sumatra, it's the cinnamon dolce, and I got a whole pot, so I'm ready to talk. I think it was something on TikTok last night about created by like artificial intelligence. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but they'll put these faces out there that kind of look like somebody famous, and they'll use a voice that sounds like somebody famous, but it's not that famous person talking. And they'll be saying these wise things or what have you. And here on TikTok, there's some, I don't know if it's a Buddhist or monk or what, but there's some like ancient Buddhist statue that's talking in the background. And they were talking about telling a story. And I hate doing this because I'm not going to do it justice. About wealth, success, and love. And you have 3 monks outside. There was a family with 3 monks outside their home. One was named Wealth, one was named Success, one was named Love. And the mother went out to invite him in, and the monks said, sorry, we can't all come in at the same time. Only one of us is allowed in a house at any time. She went in and discussed this with her husband and her daughter. The husband said, well, let's invite Wealth in. If we have wealth, we'll have all we need. And they talked about it and thought about it, and the mother chimed in and said, hey, no, why don't we invite Success? Because if we have success in our home, wealth will follow. And they talked about it, and then they had a little girl who chimed in, and the girl said, well, why don't we invite Love in? And I'm getting the chills. Why don't we invite Love in? Because if we fill our home with love, that's truly all we'll need. And I kind of believe that, and I'm kind of living my life that way. And I never felt that way before, and was always chasing money or chasing success or chasing wealth. And I'm recently being guided, and this is going to sound cheesy, by love. And trying to focus on that and focus on, I don't know, being a better person every day. And the end of the story goes, they invite the monk Love in, and the other Success follows him in, and Wealth follows him in. And they ask, hey, I didn't think all 3 of you could be in at the same place. and the story ends, well, once you have love, success will eventually follow you. And once you have success, wealth's eventually going to follow you. So pursue your passion, pursue your love, and everything else will take care of itself. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about and kind of what I've been doing. And I've kind of backed into this strategy, but I just thought the little story they said kind of matched my thoughts in life. And again, whether it be doing this coffee with Ken or be at work, yeah, I'm stocking shelves, but I feel my primary purpose there is to make the customers feel appreciated and wanted. And it's so funny because I bring this cart into our aisles, and I mean, you guys know what a grocery aisle is. It's not hugely wide, and when you have a big cart filled with inventory and you're tearing open boxes and stocking shelves, a lot of times, I don't know, the box of cereal they want could be behind my cart. It almost seems like it always is. Whatever the customer, maybe I just notice when it is, but whatever the customer wants is usually behind what I'm at my cart. And they go, oh, sorry to be in your way. And I always tell them, oh, don't worry about it at all. Without you, I wouldn't be needed at all. And I don't know, we usually share a laugh or two, and I help them find what they're looking for. And hopefully they go on their day with just a little morsel of feeling good, or remember this tall, bald man that they met in the coffee aisle at Super Target that day. So let's have a little more coffee. Oh, such a beautiful morning. Sun is shining, sky is blue. I don't know if you can see it behind me, but it's amazing. It's going to be a gorgeous day. It's a day to ride my scooter. For anybody new here, I own a Suzuki Bergman 400. That is one of those things that for anybody that's considering buying like a motorcycle or is on a limited budget and wants some transportation, I tell you, go look on Craigslist and look up scooters. I've gotten so much joy out of the two scooters I've owned. I owned a small one called a Kimco Agility 125, which I bought for like $1,200 about 10 years ago. And it was right after my first divorce, and I was carless. It was kind of funny. It was pitiful, but funny. And I was working as a realtor and a waiter. It's funny. I actually showed homes on the Kimco Agility 125. I followed them. It's, it's a full-size bike, but it's not that powerful. I mean, at max speed could go 55, and I'm following them down Butterfield Road, which has a speed limit of 55. And it's just kind of funny. But anyway, about 5 years ago, I decided to buy a bigger bike and bought a Suzuki Bergman 400, which is a full-size bike. It probably weighs, I don't know, I think it weighs 462 pounds without gas in it. And I know it's highway legal, and I don't take it on the highway just because, I don't know, I don't think I'm good enough of a driver or rider. But I do love riding it around, love taking it to Starbucks, love exploring my town or exploring where I'm at on it. And there's a few roads that I think are especially beautiful and windy and through the forests that I love riding on. I'm going to enjoy that today as well. So it's going to be a gorgeous day. Going to go to Starbucks, going to laugh with some employees. I'm going to work. You still want to see the scooter, Katie? I've done videos on it. I might send you one. I think I have your phone. I'll send you one. Or maybe I'll do another one. But I can't. I'd love to go get it right now and bring it out. But I don't know. I'm in my PJs drinking my coffee. And I'll send you one. I'll send you a video, Katie, of it. So anyway, I'm going to go to Starbucks, get some work done. And today's my day off from Super Target. I work full-time there, and honestly, I think I need to either cut back my hours because, again, I need to find a new job. And when you're working full-time in a fairly physical job and you're 54 years old, you're pretty tired when you're done with work. And I feel I haven't had the energy I'd like to pour into looking for a new job or even pour into my own children. And I do what I can, and I know there's probably a lot of dads and moms out there that wish they had more energy to shower on their kids. But as a twice divorced dad, I was talking to my second daughter yesterday who's running track at a junior high about 15 miles from here, and she's got a meet on Thursday and a meet on Monday. And I got my youngest son on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays, and I'm not bitching, but I'm just kind of calculating. Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays, and I've got 2 other kids that need love and attention. And I'm also working full time, and I'm also looking for a new job, and I also need to move, and I'm also working on these videos, and something doesn't add up. And as crazy as it sounds, and a lot of people won't think this, I think the thing that has to give is my job at Super Target. Good morning, Laura. Because it's not the right fit for me. It's not the job. I love Super Target. I love the store. I love the people. I love how it's run. But I'm not in the right role there. And nothing's going to change until I change. So I got to make something change. And I think I need to drop a shift or 2 and use that time to love on my kids, explore my passions, and find a new career or a new job. And I don't know if that makes sense, but believe me, I put in a fair amount of time, and I'm a reasonably intelligent person. I've done some calculating, and I know what we're doing right now won't work. Good morning, Laura. Thank you for joining this morning. I so appreciate you. Thanks, RJ. What I'd love to do is sit down with somebody I respect and just kind of go over stuff, because I put in some time, I've done some thinking, and I'm kind of in a spot, and I'm not saying I didn't put myself in a spot, so I'm not saying woe is me. Woe is me. Am I going to the park today? I certainly could. We love the park. There's a beautiful playground right along the river in downtown Naperville. Augie's just big enough where he's appreciating the slides, and he loves the swing. One of those little swings that, I don't know, little kids go in where you're being pretty secure. And I love doing that and pulling him up and just kind of making some weird noise and then letting him go and going, ah! And he makes the biggest, smiliest, happiest face. And then I go, I'm going to get your knees. And I grab his knees and he swings back. I'm going to get your toes. I'm going to grab your toes. I'm going to get your cheeks. I'm going to get your ears. I'm going to get your nose. I keep grabbing him as he comes back. And usually by the time I work through his anatomy, he's not swinging too much. So I do it all over again. And we have a great, great time. And looking forward to doing that. I should do a live with him there. I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know. My lives and a lot of my social media is, I do them because I got stuff that I need to get out of, that I have some talking to do and thinking I want to work out. Yeah, I know that if I did a live with him on the swings and us playing, we'd probably get a jillion views. I don't know, but that's my time with Augie. You know, I'll go live with him on a Sunday morning if he sleeps over, just because I feel fairly dedicated to the show. And I don't know, it's part of how I wake up. But I don't know, if I set up the camera, you know, I don't know. We go on the swings when he wants to go on the swings. And we go on the slide when he goes on the slide. And we kind of let the world flow and it take its course. And if I was trying to film it, I mean, it'd be great if it was being filmed because I think it's beautiful. And I think you could see his joy and his happiness. But if I was trying to film it, I couldn't just concentrate on grabbing his cheeks or grabbing his ears or being his dad. And, yeah. But he's beautiful. Somebody said I don't want to use him as a prop. No, I don't want to use him as a prop for sure, but I do want to share him with the world a little bit. Because I'm proud of him. And for anybody that doesn't know, he has Down syndrome. And it's been such a phenomenal, I'm going to almost cry right away. It's been such a phenomenal experience for me. In just enjoying his love and enjoying his passion and enjoying his smile and his hugs and even his sad face. Sometimes I'll take him over to the neighbor's dog, or not to the neighbor's dog, to the neighbor's house who has a little dog. I don't even know what kind of dog, a real little dog, but it'll bark at him. And Augie will go like this. He's very expressive. He's a lot like his dad. He's very expressive, and he'll make this sad face, and it's the saddest looking face. He's usually got the biggest smile, but if he's upset, his lip curls upside down, and it rips your heart out. And whether I'm taking him to Starbucks or the store or church or to my friend's house, and I said this the other day, I stopped by my buddy's house, who hadn't seen him in at least a year, and his wife was there, and it was just Sunday morning after we were at church, and it felt so good sharing Augie with them because he's a special little boy, and he is just a special little boy with so much love, and I think is God's gift to me. So yeah, he's fun to hang out with. Oh, is that good? Is Joy on? Hello, Joy. How are you? How are things? Joy from Austin, Texas. Every now and again, Joy, as I'm drifting off to sleep, Joy does a live. For anybody who wants to see Joy, she does a live not every night, I don't know, a few nights a week on at 8 o'clock. And I watched her a couple times, but usually I'm getting in bed and getting ready for sleep. And but sometimes I'll watch and listen as I'm drifting off to sleep, Joy. So let you know. I might not be commenting, but sometimes I'll be listening as I'm drifting off. I wonder if anyone's old enough to remember. Somebody out there's got to be old enough to remember. When you'd fall asleep with the TV on during the night, the TV wouldn't go off, but it would flip to some weird thing. When the programming was all done, they'd put up these weird blocks of color and some sort of high-pitched noise. And you'd wake up in the middle of the night, and this is way back. This has got to be in the 70s, and I've been reflecting a lot. Maybe when you get old, you start reflecting a little more. But again, you'd wake up in the middle of the night, and some weird thing would be on, like the programming on that channel would shut down, and it'd be some high-pitched tone and blocks of color. Programming never shuts down anymore. It's kind of like they're here. It is kind of creepy. But it doesn't happen anymore. Sometimes there's a hypnotic woman on TikTok named Julia. And there's a couple of hypnosis people that I like. I discovered some guy that does a really good job as well. And sometimes when I want to take a nap, they'll say, hey, we're going to hypnotize you to manifest wealth or deal with anxiety or whatever. I don't know if it makes me wealthier or if it makes me deal with my anxiety better. But what it does is help me drift off to sleep. And for those that are here on TikTok, they keep playing the videos over and over. And sometimes I'll wake up an hour and a half later and the same video's being done. And she's probably got 300 extra views from me. I was asleep the whole time, but the views are still going. I used to sometimes watch TV till it ended. Yeah, TV used to end? Isn't that weird? Somebody said they're 59. Am I moving to Wisconsin? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not stressing about it right now because today's a great day, and it's my day off. And I woke up at like 4 in the morning and was a little stressed about it, and I soothed myself back to sleep by editing a video and posting a video on various social media platforms. And I woke up a few hours later, and I had 3 new subscribers to it, to YouTube because of it. And I felt well rested, and I felt at peace, and I felt gratitude that I posted that video, and I felt like it was making some headway. Yeah. Are you guys running? Are you guys running? It is beautiful there, Joy. It is a gorgeous day. It's about 50 degrees. Somebody said I had 3 weeks left. I better prioritize. I don't think you could have your priority in a better place than in your heart, in your soul, and in your kids. and knowing the rest of it'll work out. And I know that might sound crazy, and maybe I've never been a planner, and sometimes I've tried to plan and tried to be a planner, and I tried to be like somebody else, and I tried to, if worst case I got a hotel for a week, you know, that's the worst case, or lived in an extended stay for a week or something like that. But I don't want to rush into some decision that's an emotional decision when I'm not ready and when my past's not clear enough. So yeah, you've got some morning rain. Morning rain is nice. Morning rain is nice. Rain's nice. I think rain is underrated. I love being inside and opening my windows, and when the rain comes down, smelling the rain, because rain has a weird smell, kind of. I'm not sure, it's probably not the rain, but it's something. And I don't know, feeling the breeze when the thunderstorms roll in, or feeling that, the cool air or the temperature changing. You don't want it to rain all the time. My mother grew up in Scotland, as I've said before. It rains there quite a bit. I'd struggle if I lived in like Seattle or Washington or Oregon, because I believe it rains there. I think the climate there is very similar to Scotland. It never gets too cold, but it never gets too warm either, and it rains a lot. And, I like rain, but I kind of like it to balance out the beautiful weather as well. And we're set for a beautiful day where it's going to be maybe 70 degrees and sunny and just perfect weather to be outside and riding the scooter. Was I a Beatles fan? RJ, I appreciate the Beatles. To call myself a Beatles fan would not be true. I like a lot of Beatles songs. I think Hey Jude and Yesterday, and a ton of their songs are beautiful, and I appreciate that they had 40 number one hits and had all 5 of the top 5 spots on the radio at the same time. And I'm glad that they are part of our music history, and I know that a lot of bands followed in their footsteps and what have you. But I don't own a Beatles. Okay, nobody owns albums anymore, but I don't own a Beatles album. I think I may have one Beatles song on my playlist on Apple Music, and sometimes I consider removing it. You're a Neil Young fan. Yeah. They say he was the father. Is that Jack Taylor? I wonder who Jack is. Is that Jack Taylor? They're big Here Comes the Sun guy. It's a good song. Well, I play it on a lot of my videos. Hi, Jack Taylor. Jack Taylor, where have you been? Jack Taylor, I was almost a little worried about you. I know you're upset. I know you're a young man that likes to sleep in. And I'm going live now at 5:40 most mornings. And I know Jack Taylor doesn't wake up till 8 if he sets an alarm. And that's only if he knows that I'm going to be doing live shows. Welcome back, Jack. I missed you. I was worried about you. I was worried that maybe something went afoul with Jack Taylor. Your name and your picture. Jack Taylor's in the house. See, everyone's so excited. You're a night owl. Well, no, it's cool. You do you, Jack Taylor. He's not just Jack, by the way, to me. He's Jack Taylor. Katie's Katie. Joy's Joy. Shannon's Shannon. Julie's Julie. Well, Julie might be Julie Flanagan. I don't know if Julie Flanagan's here today. Dos Mundos. That means 2 worlds, I think. Join. I like practicing my Spanish when given an opportunity. It's funny, I have a few Mexican people I work with, and there's a Cubano as well. And they'll be talking, and I'll be eavesdropping, trying to keep track of what they're saying, trying to see if they're saying bad things about me. They're not saying bad things about me. But every once in a while, I'll throw in some Spanish to remind them that, hey, I too know. Maybe that I too know Spanish, and that I can understand what they're saying. So, bueno. Hello, bueno. How are you? You're right about that, Jack. You're right about that. Oh, again, thank you, RJ. That wasn't Scott Concrete. That wasn't Scott Concrete. For anybody new here, I don't know how many people we got watching right now. 37. We got a lot of long-time viewers on today, so we'll just talk about it briefly. For the long-time viewers, you know I have some trolls stalking me. And I've listened to some good motivation about the trolls. And I think it was Denzel Washington was on a video, and he said, if the devil's not after you, you're doing something wrong. And I kind of look at those trolls as the devil. I mean, what kind of human beings could stalk somebody and say mean things to them all day? I don't know. They're not good people. Or they're damaged people, or they're hurt people. But I'll look at them as the devil, because it goes with the Denzel Washington thing. And he said, if the devil's not after you, you're doing something wrong. And if the devil is after you, you're doing something right. He said it, again, more eloquently and more beautiful than I did, but I'm just going from memory. And it makes me feel good, honestly. For about a month there, I don't know if I was running out of steam or just needed a little pep in my step, or needed a little encouragement. And even the trolls stopped saying things on my videos. I mean, everything continued to grow, and I was still being consistent. But I go, hey, if the trolls aren't here, maybe I'm doing something wrong. So, hey, look, somebody's copping RJ. RJ blocked RJ. I love it. Is Captain Kenny in the house? Captain Kenny. I wish I could meet Captain Kenny, because he has a joyful spirit. And it's weird how you can feel the joyful spirit just from people's comments. Some comments come in and they're so enthusiastic and so, so full of encouragement and positivity. And Captain Kenny hops on and says cool things to me. You know, he doesn't see a lot of my lives because, again, he's like Jack Taylor. He needs it to be at 8 o'clock sharp, or he's not going to tune in. And that's okay. I don't suggest anybody set their alarm for 5:30 to watch my new live time, because it's not even an official time. It's just when I usually get going. But he says some sweet things and makes some sweet comments on my videos that make me feel good and keep me going when things are rough. And, okay. All right. No, all right. I've been trying to avoid this. Lisa Smith hopped on, and RJ was asking about it earlier, a week or so ago. And like I said, I watch these videos after I do them, and I clip them into smaller videos. Last night before I went to bed, I was watching the video where Lisa Smith suggested the book, How Starbucks Saved My Life. And every once in a while, RJ, my regular watcher, will hop on and ask if I read the book yet. And I avoid the question, and I usually will pour myself some coffee, or take a swig, or comment on the sunshine or the weather, stretch, or say, hey, I gotta go. But no, I didn't buy the book. And what's really embarrassing is I wrote it in my to-do list a week ago. And I wanted to do a video on the value of to-do lists, and said, look, here's me writing something in my to-do list about buying a book and how it incentivizes, encourages me to go buy that book. And then I go, wait a minute, but I didn't actually even buy the book or read the book. And I promised to you guys that I would buy and read the book, and I haven't. So it's on my to-do list again today. I think I really would like it, Lisa. If it's about motivation and it has something to do with Starbucks, I think I really would like it. And I'm not even going to buy it on Amazon today. I'm going to stop on the way to my coffee shop on my scooter. There's a Barnes & Noble, a big, beautiful Barnes & Noble, which Joy and I went to once. Oh, awesome, Joy. Actually, honestly, Joy bought that book in the Barnes & Noble, in this big, beautiful Barnes & Noble with me in downtown Naperville. I'm going to stop and see if they have the book. Money's going to be no object. And yes, I'm probably going to pay $5 more for the book. But if I commit to ordering it online, I might not. Who stole my hair? Who stole my hair? My first response was God. My second response was stress. The third response might be my career as a financial planner. You have a book signing, and I don't even care if it's not your book. Captain Kenny, well, you're out in New Jersey. Would you pack up? By the way, I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm sure you can. I have this huge silver oak. I'll show you. Hopefully I don't lose the signal. This huge silver oak not silver oak, I'm sorry, silver maple behind me. Or not behind me, kind of off to my east. And somehow it's blocked the sun. And what was such a warm, sunny morning on my stoop has turned a little chilly. I think my phone's askew. I think it might be on something, a little cockamamie. So let's straighten it out. Hey, thank you, Joy and RJ, for taking care of that. He'd have millions. How are you this morning? Good morning, Robert Montgomery. Hey, Joy, bald isn't only not bad, bald's awesome. Hello, Donald. Good morning, Big Head. It is a beautiful sunny day in Naperville. Am I Mr. Clean? No. I did a video about this the other day where I was scrubbing, by the way, my sink. Because usually this morning video starts off with me pouring my coffee over the sink. And the other morning I realized, ew, there's gross stuff stuck to my sink. And so instead of me pouring my coffee at the beginning, I scrubbed my sink clean. And I've never been that good at it. And I've realized it. And I like to keep a clean house. I like to be tidy. I think I'm clean. I like to bathe regularly. But one area, there's two areas. I don't dust very well. I do not dust very well. And I don't clean my sink very well. And I don't know. Maybe I'll go to my grave never being very good at dusting and never having the cleanest sink in the world. But I do think I can try to be a little better and do a little better job. I think the real key is just before you go to bed, because I'll put, I'll have a plate of whatever, and I'll put it in the sink, and I'll rinse it off. But sometimes the plate will block the drain or what have you, and whatever was on your plate it'll slowly drain away and kind of stick to the sides. And then usually before I go to bed, I might throw some of the plates in the dishwasher. And then when I wake up, I got the stuff that's stuck to the sides, and that's just no good. It's not what you want to wake to. Thank you so much for following the host, Howie Mandel. Katie says she hates bathing. It's such a chore. I mean, I literally did a video on that yesterday. About how bathing, sometimes you look at it as a chore, or it can be one of those simple pleasures. I did, literally. I think it was yesterday. It's called a hot shower or a hot shower. Yesterday. And Katie just said bathing is a chore. Literally, I use the word chore because it can feel like a chore. Because sometimes you will be in a hurry and you'll hop in the shower. And for me, I got to shave my head and my face in the shower, although I haven't shaved my face in a couple days. I'm going to let it grow for a few days. So it saves me some time. And you can either look as a chore or look at it as a simple pleasure, because whether you're in the tub or even if you're just letting hot water spray on you, I mean, if you feel the sensation of the water and the warmth and everything, it feels really good. Yeah. Grow a ZZ Top beard. RJ, I am not gonna grow a ZZ Top beard. I know beards are still popular. I know some people look good in them, but I personally kind of find, and I'm going to get in, the Beard Society of America is going to come protesting out my house. I find beards gross, especially long beards, not really well-kept beards. But I'll tell you what, after a week of not shaving, I feel yucky, I feel itchy. I can't grow hair. Somebody said grow hair. I can't. I feel mutton chops. Yeah, flavor, savor. I just don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm messy. Maybe I watch Huggy eat too much, and I don't know. Half the food I feed him a lot because that's the way we like to keep it cleanest. But sometimes, no matter what I'm giving him, I'll kind of push half of it out and put it in his hand. I'm going, Huggy, that's a spaghetti noodle with hamburger on it. And then I'll put it back in his mouth, and then I'll start touching things, whether it's me or my couch or what have you. Maybe if I had a kid's chair for him, it might be a little better, but I don't. So we often eat on the couch. But this morning, I kid you not, I live in a house that's, 70 years old, and we have these old radiators for heat. And as I'm waking up and putting on my PJs, I look under, and there's a chunk of something under my radiator. And I look, and it's this chunk of donut. Ooh, which reminds me, I bought 2 boxes of donuts last night. I cannot tell you how excited I am about that. I cannot tell you how excited. I only bought 2 because it was buy one, get one free. But it was buy one, get one free. So I got 2 boxes of donuts, and that's so exciting. I bought the mixed variety. And no, the chunk of donut that was under my radiator this morning was the plain. I bet if it was the crumble, he would have eaten it all. They actually sold whole boxes of crumbled donuts, which are my favorite. I buy the Entenmann's. I buy the Entenmann's because they're the ones in the grocery store. And they come in boxes of 8. And there's 2 chocolate, 2 plain, 2 glazed, and 2 crumble. And I don't know if crumble's their official name, but that's the best name I get. Okay, Kayla, thank you for joining today. And crumble's by far my favorite because they're just ridiculously delicious. And they sold whole boxes of crumble, yet I still picked out the variety pack. Shows how valuable variety is. Is Jack leaving? Bye-bye, Jack. Bye, Jack. 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 Saw an interview with Leonardo DiCaprio here on TikTok the other day. And they asked him point blank, was there room for Jack on the board? And he looked down kind of embarrassed and said he has no comment. And they asked him again, and he said, he has no comment. And I don't think he's just joking. I wonder if he was sworn to like a vow of silence by the musical producer or something like that. Hello from Thailand. Hello from Thailand. How are you? Good morning to you. Hey, Turbo Stallion, thank you so much for following the host. Thank you so much for following the host. And there's a name I can't pronounce. It's in maybe a Thai language. Thank you, Joy. But no, there was room. She was just mad at him. She must have been really mad at him to let him float away like a little ice block into the North Atlantic. That's a really good movie, by the way. I talked about Titanic before. But it's one of those movies, it's like crazy long. It might be 3.5 hours. But it's got a great love story. It's got a ton of action. And it's got a ship sinking. So it really appeals. It's got a bad guy. I think all movies have to have bad guys. It's actually got 2 bad guys. It's one of those movies that has such cross-cultural appeal. How long have I been talking? Wolf of Wall Street is good. I'll tell you what, DiCaprio is in a lot of great movies. And he's, again, and like Brad Pitt, the women love him. And I don't blame the women for it because they're both really good-looking guys. They could play the beefcake roles or the good-looking guys or the charmers in all their movies, but both of them choose to take more meaty roles and more interesting roles that can show their acting chops rather than just relying. I mean, I guess they didn't want to be on Baywatch all their lives. Nothing wrong with Baywatch. There was a period in my life that I was into Baywatch. I still think I'd like it. It's cheesy and it's silly, but it's just interesting enough with the backdrop of scantily clad men and women, you pick your flavor, that can keep you interested. So, you'd be a great John McClane. Well, thank you. I mean, would I be a great John McClane? Honestly, I've never been in a fight. I've never been in a fight. And I've never acted. But I appreciate it. I think John McClane's cool. Do I write books? For a while, I would write every morning. And for some reason, well, I know why. I needed to write. I needed to express myself. I needed to get the stuff that's in my head and in my heart out. And I do it by writing. And I found I was a really good writer. And but I started doing video. And an Andy Griffith type. Andy's a really nice man. Andy's a really nice man. I know Mayberry was just on TV, but I'll bet you Andy's a really nice man, and I'll bet Opie was like Opie, and I'll bet Aunt May was like Aunt May, and I'll bet Don Knotts was kind of silly. Thank you, Corey. I could write the tar out of a book. I'd just write the tar right out of it. Oh, is that good? I wish it was a little warmer. I wish it was a little warmer. There's a couple things you can do when your coffee's not warm enough. You can dump it out. You can pour more. You can go to the microwave. I think I'm just going to savor it because this stuff's still hot. Wasn't it's Aunt B. Did I say Aunt May? Did I say Aunt May? It was Aunt B. It's been a while. I don't watch. I mean, I don't even have TV. I don't even have TV. Thank you so much for following the host, Colin D. Santos. Thank you. So I don't know what I have for you, other than it's a beautiful day, and the birds are chirping, and we've had a great morning, and I've had some great coffee. And I realized that I have donuts waiting for me. Did Marky Mark really follow the host? God, I wish Marky Mark would follow the host. I like Marky Mark a whole heck of a lot. He's funny, he's cool, he's tough. He can do a one-arm pull-up. Good morning, Keith. Thank you for joining me today. I'm just about to sign off. I've been talking for, I don't know, 50 minutes, I think. I like to keep it under an hour. Some of my watchers like to encourage me. Hello from, is that Breton? I think, or no, Canada. I have a Canadian flag. Corey asked if Marky Mark starts his workouts at 3 a.m. Well, as much as I like him, I've never worked out with Marky Mark. I did work out with Mr. T once. Maybe more than once. We were in a tiny gym. I talked about it the other day. I lived in Chicago. Mr. T, a.k.a. Clubber Lang, is from Chicago. And I lived in a place called McClure Court, which had a gym in front of it. Or not in front of it, in the basement. Was it in the basement? I think it was in the basement. And Mr. T worked out there. And it was a tiny little gym. So he was like on the equipment right over there. Thought that was kind of interesting. Yeah. Talked about it before, and I'll bring it up again because maybe I don't talk. I met Muhammad Ali. I saw Charles Barkley in an interview the other day, and he said the biggest honor he's ever had was meeting Muhammad Ali. And I think it's pretty neat that I get to say I met Muhammad Ali because he's a guy, you know, he's probably up there like with Martin Luther King in terms of the impact on society from that time period, historical figures that, you know, yeah, I think history will look back on those guys like with Abe, you know, and I don't bring up the whole stuff, and I don't want to bring up everything, but just as huge figures, historical figures in, I don't know, our country for sure. So it's kind of cool. He signed my business card, and he signed I think it was a Nation of Islam pamphlet. I so badly wish I had that business card still. I bet somewhere, somehow, some way, it's somewhere still. I can't imagine I threw it out, but it's in the bottom of a box somewhere. Somebody's going to find it in 200 years and go, what's this chicken scratch? Whoosh, whoosh. Use it as starting a paper. I met Jean-Claude Van Damme in New York City. They had fun, and so did we. I don't know what that means. Marky Mark brother Donnie live right down the street from you in St. Charles. Oh, Donnie lives down the street in St. Charles? He was married to, who's the blonde bombshell? He might still be. Who's also from Chicago? Who's also from Chicago? I don't know. But anyway, it's Tuesday morning. It's a gorgeous Tuesday morning. I've been talking a while. I so appreciate you guys for joining. It's not really that hard to meet Ken Tracy. I'll be at Starbucks on Gardner in Washington, probably about 10:30 or 11 today. Not totally sure, but probably. And yeah, it's not that hard, and it's probably not that exciting. I don't want to disappoint anybody. This is kind of what it is. Jenny McCarthy, yeah, Jenny McCarthy. Yeah, she's from Chicago. I think she is married to him. Yeah, she's an interesting lady. She's easy on the eyes. Really, she was. This is a long time ago. It's amazing how quickly time goes. But it was in the 90s, and I think she was Playmate of the Year. But that was 30 years ago. Time catches up to all of us. Thank you so much, Joy. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Yeah, Jenny McCarthy made a lot of people crazy. I just saw a shadow moving over here, and what it is it's a squirrel up in the tree shaking its tail and cast a shadow on the phone. It's kind of neat. But anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for joining. I've had a great morning. I've really enjoyed my coffee. I so appreciate you guys, and I so appreciate you joining me today. I don't know where you're watching from, but I appreciate it. I hope you have weather half as beautiful as I do today, and whether you have clouds or sun or rain or wind or cold or hot, I hope you find some appreciation for it, and you find some joy in it, and you have a smile on your face as you go forward, as you sip your coffee. One last sip. Cheers to us. I want to thank you guys so much for joining. I hope you have an awesome, awesome day. I hope you're loving yourself. I hope you're forgiving yourself. I truly do appreciate you for, again, joining in my journey and being a part of my show and being a part of the day. And hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.